All right, Math 1, Unit 10, find the missing term, and now we're dealing with geometric series, or sequences. So again, we're going to start off by looking at what would I multiply by, right? We're dealing with geometric sequences, so we're multiplying. To get from -1 to our blank, I'm going to multiply by the common rate, or the ratio. I think it's the ratio is what it's called. And then once we have our blank, we're going to multiply by the ratio again to get -36. So to write this in a formula, just like what we did earlier, we'd have -1 times r equals -36. Right? Last time we started off with, we'd have like a plus d and a plus d. Now we have multiplying by r because it's geometric. So let's combine like terms here. So we get -1 times, and we have two r's multiplying, so it's going to be r squared is -36. We can divide by -1 here, so I get r squared is +36. And now I need to take the square root. And the square root looks like this. And the square root says, what could you multiply 2 times to get, or what could you multiply by itself to get this guy there? And the square root of 36 is 6. So r equals 6. So now I'm going to take my first term, -1, and I'm going to multiply by 6, and I'm going to get -6. And that's what goes in my blank. This is my answer. All right, let's look at number 2. So I'm going to have here I'm going to multiply by r, and here I'm going to multiply by r. So I'm going to have 1 times r equals 9. So the 1 doesn't really matter. I'm going to have r squared equals 9. Square root, if I take the square root of both of these, and you know you're able to use the square root button in your calculator if you're confused on this. Square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. So r equals 3, and then to finish up, I need to say 1 times 3 equals 3, and that's my answer. All right, number 3. So here I'm going to multiply by r, and here I'm going to multiply by r. So I'm going to get -3 times r equals -75. So this is -3 times r squared is -75. I need to get rid of that -3 out front, so I'm going to divide both sides by -3. And now I have r squared is -75 divided by -3 is going to be +25. I take my root, and I get r equals 5. So I go back up here, I get -3 times 5 is -15. And that's my answer. Okay, number 4. Again, I'm going to multiply by r, and I'm going to multiply by r again. So I'm going to have 2 times r is 50. So 2r squared is 50. I divide by 2 on both sides, and I get r squared is 25. The square root of 25 is 5, so I could say, well, r equals 5. And now I'm going to take 2 times 5 equals 10. Okay. Number 5. I've got a times r there and a times r there because I only have one blank, right? So 1 r, or 1 times r is 36. So r squared is 36. So r is 6. So now I take 1 times 6 is 6, and that's my answer. All right, number 6. Here's going to be times r, here's going to be times r. So negative 4rr is negative 36. So negative 4r squared is negative 36. R squared is going to be, well, what is negative 36? Here I'm dividing by 4, right? Or by negative 4, right? 36 divided by negative 4, what is that? 9. So r squared is 9, and r is 3. So to come back to the top, I take negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. All right, last two problems. We're going to take times r times r. It's like negative 3 times r is negative 108. So negative 3r squared is negative 108. Next up, we divide by negative 3. And what is 108 divided by 3? 36. So r squared is now we're positive 36. Take our square root, and r is plain old 6, right? Because 6 times 6 is 36. And we take our negative 3 from the top. Negative 3 times 6 is negative, is that 18? Yep, negative 18. There we are. Alrighty, yay. Last problem. Here's times r, here's times r. So we're going to have 4, and I'm just going to skip that step and say r squared. It's 144. Divide by 4, and r squared is, well, let's get in our calculator and take 144 divided by 4, and I got 36. So I take my root and I get 6. So now I take my 4. 4 times 6 equals 20. Is that 24? Yeah, 24. 24. All right, there we are.